Education Coordinator for La Unión de Pueblo Entro. Lupe is an important civil rights organization that was founded in 1989 by our labor rights activist Cesar Chavez. Lupe is committed to building a stronger, healthier communities with Colonia residents using their power to effect social change to the community and organizing social services. Don Michaels.
Hi, everyone. Real quick, keep in mind, I'm going to be asking 10 people to come up here for an activity in just a second. So if you feel like you want to get up in front of everybody, start thinking about it now. Start getting ganas and courage to come up. All right. So we're here to talk about education, right? And education is a very important part of our progress, right? When we see the way that we want to move forward, we have to see our history. We have to look backwards. We have to see where we've come from in order to move forward.
Wash your hands, Mama. Yes, you can clean your hands.
When Cesar Chavez and the United Farm Workers were organizing the grape and lettuce boycotts, one of the things that Cesar said was, the strike and the boycott, they have cost us much, but they have not paid us in wages, better working conditions, and new contracts. They have paid us in self-respect and dignity. The picket line was the best teacher. Farm workers learned what dignity meant when they laid down their tools and walked off the job in front of everybody to join the strike. The farm workers chose to sacrifice wages for a time in order to demand dignity for always. You, with your walkout, are sacrificing your education today to demand the dignity and respect that our history teaches us that we deserve. That idea of education through action is very important. The famous black abolitionist Frederick Douglass said, "If there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom and yet depreciate agitation want crops without plowing up the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the awful roar of its many waters. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did and it never will." So right now what we're going to do is an educational activity that teaches us how to take action, how we can think about action strategically, how we can learn from those around us, from each other, to move forward and to create the change that we want in the world. So 10 people, who wants to come up to the front? Just come on up, come on up.
Get the papers and find a way.
I'm gonna get down in front.
To her.
Okay, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this is good, the people that are here. All right, to start out, one person is going to represent farm workers. Who wants to represent farm workers in the struggle? All right. Don Francisco. Don Francisco is a Lupe member, also a member of the United Farm Workers. You want to come up to the tug of war. We're going to be playing the tug of war. We're going to illustrate power dynamics here between farm workers and growers and how to win a successful boycott. Now we need one person to represent, or actually 2 people to represent growers. Hannah, my sister, right here. Thank you. One more person. Okay. And Sareth is also a member of Lupe out here supporting all of y'all in the struggle. Okay. Don Francisco here is organizing with his compañeros. They want to join the union. They want the union to be recognized by their growers. They want better working conditions. They want benefits for their family. They want to be able to send their children to school, to be able to get a college education. They want to have progress in their community, right? Hannah and Sareth, I already know y'all's names. Hannah and Sareth right here, they represent the growers. But they don't want anything that Javier wants, that Don Francisco wants, because what Don Francisco wants is going to decrease their profits, right? So y'all are going to both now pick up this tug of war right here, this rope. In this power dynamic, we have the workers right here. The workers generally are immigrants or low-wage workers, people who don't have a lot of political power. They don't have a lot of money to buy that political power either. The growers, on the other hand, they're friends with the politicos. They might be politicos themselves. They have that power. They have a lot. Then they also have the power over Don Francisco's work, right? So now, in y'all's tug of war, who's going to win this tug of war right here?
The farm workers.
Eventually, the farm workers are gonna win. Right now, as it stands right now, the growers have the power. They can easily pull Don Francisco over to their side. So what Don Francisco needs to do is, what they're gonna do is Don Francisco, they're gonna say, the farm workers are gonna say, we're gonna organize a strike. We're gonna go out on strike. We're gonna stop working for these people right here, and they're not gonna make their profits. So he goes out on strike, pretty much dropping the tug of war right there. Now what the growers want to do, then they say, well, we don't need you. We can get anybody to work here up on there. We can get anybody else. We can bring people in from Mexico. They're gonna work. They're gonna take Don Francisco's place, and then we're gonna continue having our profits. So now what does Don Francisco have to do? Organize.
Well, baby girl.
He's gonna organize. He's gonna look to see who can he make connections with, so that he can bring more people on his side of this tug of war right here. So he can pull these growers over to his side. So he's gonna reach out first, of course, to those workers that are brought in by the growers here. Somebody, you want to step up and be one of those workers?
Gorgeous. Oh, look.
Okay. Senor Narvaez, also another Lupe member. So now he's growing a little bit. Here's his power on this side. Who else does he need to reach out to?
Who wants to be a farm worker?
More farm workers throughout the state. So imagine that these growers can just go anywhere and they can recruit farm workers from anywhere. Right? So you're gonna go out and recruit people from throughout the state. Does somebody else want to join in and be a farm worker from another part of the
We'll work on your
country?
pants a little more.
Okay, cool. But also, now they're saying, well, it doesn't really matter. All these farm workers can be organized. We can get more growers on our side. Who wants to be another grower?
More green? You need some brown on there, Mama. Those are your browns.
They're continuing to pull, and they're pulling even harder. They don't want these people organized. They don't want to decrease their profits. They're going to continue pulling the farm workers over and towards their side. So what they say was, well, now that comes in the extra level of education. We need to start analyzing our situation. We're workers here, but we're not only working so that we can feed our families, but we're feeding everybody else's families. So what do? We can, instead of just stopping us working ourselves, we can call on consumers. We can call on consumers to join with us to come onto our side, and so we can organize a boycott. We're going to organize a boycott of grapes. And so that's what the United Farm Workers did, was they organized a national boycott of table grapes, and saying that the boycott was not going to end until the growers signed a contract with the union. So now you're reaching out to the consumers. You want to join on to the side and be...
Don't buy any
Oh, wait, we still need a couple of people over here. Now the boycott is happening in all over the state of California. They're also what they're doing is they're starting to have mass mobilization. So they're bringing people from all over the community, because this issue is not only about farm workers. It's about their children. It's about their community members. It's about the neighborhoods that they live in. It's about the dignity of all the people that are dependent on the community of farm workers. So what they're bringing in is people throughout the community, and they have mass mobilizations. But what that does then, or what the growers do, is that they see that in order to combat that, what they need to get on their side is the local police department and the sheriffs. What the sheriffs can do, when they have law and order on their side, they can say, oh, you're breaking the law. You're breaking the law. We're gonna break up your demonstration. We're gonna throw you in jail, whatever it might be. So you want to represent law enforcement.